Hi, welcome to Revenue Marketing Television, the CMO Insight Series. I'm your host, Jeff Pedowitz, President and CEO of the Pedowitz Group. Today as our guest, we have David Reske, who is founder and CEO of Nowspeed. David, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So I think about 20 years now you've had this company, right?
About, 15 years, but it seems like 20.
Yeah, I can relate to that. So tell us a little bit, Nowspeed, what was your inspiration for starting it, and who are you today?
Sure. Nowspeed's a digital marketing agency. We help our clients drive demand. We're a highly integrated team that produces really good results for clients. I mean, my primary motivation for starting the company was we wanted to make a difference in the world through the things that we could help our clients achieve. And so we started building marketing services back then around email marketing, added search marketing, digital advertising, social media marketing. So now we've got a fully integrated suite of digital marketing services, and we like to help our clients be successful.
So if you went back to 2003, what percentage of the marketplace do you think was actually responsible or cared about driving demand versus today?
Back then it was pretty early in digital marketing. And so there was still, and I think if I look at the stats back then, I think Google ad spending was like 4 billion. And we were looking at these projections of it going to, 8 and 12. And now it's tens of billions. And Google's worth hundreds of billions. So that's just a piece of it. But, what I've observed over the last 15 years is that money in advertising and marketing is moving into the digital space as rapidly as possible because it's all very measurable, it's highly accountable. And so it's been exciting to kind of ride that wave and help clients be successful along the way.
So, so much changes in the marketplace over the last 10 or 15 years. So how have you adapted in terms of what you're providing for your clients?
Well, as I mentioned, we really started in email because that was the simplest thing to start with back in 2004, 2003, starting with simple email campaigns. And then from there, within a year, we added search engine optimization services because we knew that was going to be, important. And then Google AdWords back in the day, when it was called AdWords. Started with simple text ads. And then I think in 2007, we added social media services, mainly organic, and then got heavy into social media advertising services. And then along the way, added marketing automation as well. So, as the technology has gotten better and each of these tools has become better at delivering results rather than just, interesting things to do for clients, we really tried to focus on a relatively small set of things that make the biggest impact. I mean, the exciting thing in digital marketing today is there's just dozens or even hundreds of things you could do well, but we try to focus on the things that are really going to drive the best results for clients.
That is true. There are a lot of things that you could do. Do you think that marketers are buying services from agencies different now? I mean, it's we see so many industries being disrupted with all different kinds of models, whether it's recurring revenue or subscription or packages. I mean, are people still doing the classic retainer agency or agency fixed price project, or are you seeing any changes?
Well, they're still doing that, and that's definitely still keeping us in business, and that's a really good thing. But what I have seen is that since the technology has gotten better and better, we've probably all seen the Chief MarTech slide that has 5,000 logos of tech.
Even more now. I think it's like 7,000 or 8,000. That's crazy. Well, they're going to have to roll it out on a billboard, so we can see it.
It's kind of crazy, So that's been just this massive investment in marketing tech really over the last 15 years. I mean, what was that slide like back in 2004? It was probably 20, 30, 50, and now it's 6,000 or 7,000, right?
So what that's enabled, find your logo.
Yeah. So what that's enabled companies to do is it's just making it easier for them to do it themselves. So what one of our biggest competitors is really companies who want to do it themselves, and so so we have to constantly stay on the forefront of technology and the forefront of innovation and forefront of services. I mean, today, for example, anybody can, with $50, open a Google AdWords account and start spending money with Google. And so the magic isn't being able to turn on a Google account and start spending money. The magic is for us being able to turn that spending into business outcomes that drive real results.
Yeah, and I think we've tried to take a similar focus too throughout the years, is just really focusing on the outcomes. One of the things I constantly remind my team about is, we're not in the automobile industry, right? There are not high barriers to entry. Anybody that can start claiming that they're an expert, or go into a myriad of agency sites, copy content, change a couple words, and then all of a sudden it looks like that they do what everyone else is doing. So it just means that we have to continue to innovate, continue to add value for our customers, and stay on the edge. And that's what our customers are expecting too. How have the people that you brought into your firm changed over the last few years? Is it still the same type of skill sets? Are they different?
Yeah, I think we're looking for people that are more analytical now than we were. I think in the early days, we felt we could take experienced marketing generalists and train them in digital and have them become effective. And so we hired a wide variety of people. And so today we often look for people earlier in their career who are very trainable, that come out of college, they're kind of eager to learn. And so we've got a really solid, actually we have a very structured 3-year training program for new college grads. And so we look for highly analytical people that can kind of jump in with good communication skills and then grow through our training program. And so we're more apt to be good at training people into this position than taking experienced people and then plugging them into roles. And that really works well for our culture as well. We just get really good results that way. But it is a much more, you have to be much more analytical. You have to be much more willing to learn new tech and adapt very quickly. I think I just did a count, out of those 6,000 or 7,000 tools, on a daily basis, we're using 50 of them. And that's a lot to ask of a marketer, who's working with multiple accounts. So switching between different tool sets and using the best, ad products. Not everybody's using 50 every day, but you've got to be able to really learn it quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? We were a couple of years ago. We were just going through our internal budgeting, and we noticed that our computer and software spending was just going up through the roof. And our team did an inventory, and it was like something like 50-some technologies we were using internally just to run the business and service our customers. And so we're like, okay, do we need all that? And then I can imagine for a company of our size, because we're a small to mid-sized business. I mean, what does it look like at a mid-market or global enterprise? They must deal with hundreds, if not thousands, of applications. It's got to be insane, right?
Right. Yeah, it is. And that's, part of the value we provide. When we come into a client engagement, we bring that whole tool set, and we can really hit the ground running with great tools, process. Like one thing I tell my clients is, when you hire us, we don't show up and say, hey, what do you want us to do today? We come in with a systematic process with the tool set, and we just hit the ground running. And we're really driving the campaign, driving the program. And I think that's a lot of our value add. We work well with clients who want to get things done and drive business results, rather than just have another body who can do good stuff. They can hire that anywhere. And that's continue to serve as well.
You mentioned earlier that you try and stay focused with the services you provide. It's the same thing on the customers that you try and serve? I mean, is there a certain part of the market that you really focus in on?
Yeah, we've really focused on lead generation programs. So but by that I mean companies that sell big ticket items that want to drive leads. And so the best industries for us are often B2B industries. We do a lot in tech, we do a lot in business services, but we also do some B2C markets like education, where there's a big ticket. So we work with a lot of universities where they're trying to sign up a graduate student, and that's $100,000 sale for them. So anytime you can drive big ticket need leads for big ticket sales, whether it's tech or education, we've got really good programs and efficient processes to get that done.
So are your contracts pay for performance then, based upon how many leads you generate?
No, we're not in that part of the lead generation mode. We're really in the services mode. So most of our contracts are retainer based.
Okay.
So, we're really, we work with, basically we have two types of clients. One client that will buy a specific service like SEO or social media, and another client that's buying a whole outsourced digital marketing team, where they really want SEO, social media, digital advertising, marketing automation support, email, maybe some content development, really from one integrated team. And then that lets the client focus on strategy and messaging and maybe some other content pieces where they've got really a team of people who get things done.
That makes a lot of sense. So we all have favorite clients. Many we can't talk about though, but do you have one that you think, hey, this was a really great story and we really helped them transform?
Yeah, we work with some marquee clients. So Nokia is a client of ours, and they're great. It's fun working on big global campaigns. I mean, we work with some of their divisions, and it's great to see. You think of a global brand like that, but it's really fun to work with individuals who are making a difference with specific divisions. It's sometimes it's challenging to learn all of their language and their acronyms and their tech, and I love it when our people kind of dive into that and get it and really make a difference. And so, it's kind of interesting to work with a large company like that where you've got to work with lots of process and lots of approvers. And I'm really proud of our team, the way we get that done. On the other end of the scale, we've got some, a relatively small wealth management firm that we work with where we're their entire, marketing department, if you will. And so for them, we're running their email campaigns and managing their website. And it's just kind of fun at the other end of the scale to see a small company where we kind of drive good results and get things done. So, I like both of those. It's just fun to make an impact wherever you can.
So as someone that's been doing this for a while now, what do you think is coming next? Is some big trends that we should be paying attention to as agencies where we can provide value for our customers?
Well, I think that there's, a lot of potential in, artificial intelligence and big data. And it's going to be interesting to see if we're, going to be needed to kind of bring all that data together, or if some of the firms that we work with will provide all that for us. For example, like Google has, we use Google advertising products, so Google Ads, right? They have so many platforms, and they have incredible amounts of data, but we don't have to manage any of that big data. We get to take advantage of all that big data. So I think getting smarter about how we're using those products is important. I think that the other big trend is where we used to put all these little software pieces together to make things effective. Today we see some all-in-one products like HubSpot be really good and getting better at allowing us to do analytics and email and marketing automation and advertising management and maybe social media management and all in one. And then, today they're maybe not best in class in all those categories, but with their investment, will they get there? Will we be able to get to a place where we really have one platform where we can manage everything through? I think that's something. One of the biggest challenges I think that we often face is where do you make your bets, right? Which technology and which platforms are going to be the best. I don't know if you get this experience, but I get 3 or 4 calls every day from different technology providers that want to sell me something new or work with me as a partner. So it's, making those choices, it's hard. So you got to make
constantly, and calls from our clients. They want to move from this platform to this platform. This vendor is giving a better deal, but should they move because will it do what they need it to do? And certainly, there's more convergence. I think now. I mean, at least with the top 4, 5, 6 marketing platforms. I mean, they all have pretty much enough capability that for most marketing organizations, they can do what they need. But then it's beyond that, right? It's where are you going as a company and who are you trying to market to? Or is it worldwide? Through what channels are you trying to reach your target audience? And it's never a simple question once you get past the core platform, right? And then what's the ecosystem? Now, I'm not sure that we'll ever get to truly one platform, but I can see an ecosystem of systems working together in a more coordinated way, right? That would make sense to me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people talk about AI, pontificate about it. Some people are going to say, well, it's just going to be like Terminator, machines are going to market to machines, or we're not even going to need marketers anymore in a couple of years. What do you think?
Well, I think the technology will continue to get better. And so things like that were more manual in the past, like A/B and multivariate testing, where it took a lot of thought and a lot of detailed strategies to kind of manage those. I think those will become built into the platforms and it'll be easier to really manage those kinds of things. AI will kind of automate some of that and just give us the right answer, give us the best answer. But there's going to be always a lot of thought required to build really good marketing campaigns that drive results. You got to think clearly about the needs of the target audience, the content that's going to get them to engage, the right calls to action. And I think that there's always going to be a need for thoughtful marketing that makes it work. One of the comments I got recently from someone who incidentally bought HubSpot said, well, hey, I bought HubSpot. Well, why do I need you? And I said, just as an analogy, I said, well, because you buy Salesforce.com, does that mean you don't need a Salesforce? And of course, the answer is no, right? So, just because you have a platform, you still need to think creatively about the content, about the messaging, about the design, about the flow, and about how advertising and organic search and email kind of all blends together. One of the initiatives that I'm really working on here is it'd be a big theme for the fall is integration. So, we're actively working on exactly nailing the integration points between all of these things. Because one of the things I see all the time with our clients is we're building all these digital silos, right? The content people don't necessarily talk to the SEO people. They don't necessarily work with the social media people. It's a little different than the ad team. And so, we want to be the most highly integrated digital agency and provide all of those connections in a systematic way, so that makes everything work well together. And I think that's a human piece that we can add value and bring these pieces together.
Well said, and I love that analogy. Can I borrow that?
Sure,
that's
absolutely,
great. Yeah. Great insights, David. Thank you so much for being on the program today, and best of luck and ongoing success for you and your team.
Thanks, Jeff. It's great being here.
You bet.